Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video it's going to be another spooky vlog, and this is going to be my probably the best ghost experience I've ever encountered. And I've told Beth this story, our friend Ellie this story, and they both said you need to make a video about it. So yeah. So I want to say it was about 5-6 years ago. It was one day after school, and on the evening I was home alone and my dad was at work and my mum was at my nan's. At this point my nan only lived literally just like 10 seconds away up the road. And I was on MSN, a video call, like webcam, to two of my friends at the time, Rachel and Kirsty. And it was like, you know how you can do like a 3-way call and you can do it on like webcam and stuff, but you could do that on MSN as well. And I was in a 3-way call with them. And we did this like weird little habit we had, and like we'd all mute each other but we'd still type to each other as well, and like we could still all see each other and whatnot. And then I was just like, you know, minding my own business, whatever. And back then my room was set up a lot differently than it is today. So on this back wall here used to be like my wardrobes. Over in that corner I had a desk and like my computer was on it. And then it was just like space here and then my bed down this side, right? And I was like, just like, you know, minding my own business, like on Facebook, talking to other people, talking to other friends, you know. And then I get a message from Rachel, and she goes, "Soph, is your mum in the house with you?" And I went, "No, why?" And she went, "That's not funny." I was like, I wasn't trying to be funny, but okay. And she said, "No, seriously, Soph, is that your mum behind you?" Now I knew full well that I was home alone, right? And I like look straight behind me and look, no one there. And then I said, "No, I'm home alone." She went, "Oh, is it your dog then?" Looked around, called her. She wasn't up here, like she wasn't upstairs, and she wasn't in my room. And then she was like, "Oh, okay then." And she was a bit freaked out. Like 5-10 minutes later, Kirsty pops up to me and says exactly the same thing. "Soph, is that your mum in the background?" And I was like, why does everyone keep asking me this? And I was like, no, Rachel's just asked me this as well. I'm home alone, no one's here. And then Kirsty like unmutes herself and she's like, "Soph, get out that room now." And then obviously, like, you know, I was absolutely terrified. I was like, okay. And I was like, "I'll end the call." And they were like, no, keep the call going. So I went off downstairs. I kind of just like stayed down there for a little bit, probably like 10-15 minutes, just to like calm myself down and whatnot, get a drink and stuff and just think about it. So then afterwards I come back up. Rachel and Kirsty are still on MSN, and like Rachel's crying and stuff, like she's really, really scared. And Kirsty looks really worried. I came back on and they were like unmuting themselves and we were talking, and I was like, "Guys, was this a joke?" And they were like, "No, I promise." And they looked like deadly serious. And like no one was sniggering or laughing or anything. And at this point, like Kirsty wasn't in Rachel's house and Rachel wasn't in Kirsty's house. Like Rachel was in her house, Kirsty was in her house, I was in my house, you know? So it wasn't like them two had like plotted this prank on me or anything. They both had no idea. So I was sat there and I was like, "Well, can you explain like what had happened, what you saw?" And they didn't really want to say it out loud, so they typed it to me. And they both typed and then like finished at the same time. Kirsty sent me exactly the same thing as what Rachel had said. A lady with long brown hair, like hip length hair, brunette, in like an old, like to the floor white night dress, and her face was all screwed up and like fell to the side. And I was like, okay, that's a bit creepy. And she said she couldn't see the lady's feet or anything. it looked as if the woman was floating. Like, she had feet but she wasn't touching the floor. Rachel was even crying, like actual tears. I knew what it looked like when they were lying or joking around. They'd laugh straight away. So I don't believe that it was a joke. It just didn't feel like a joke to me. So I didn't take it as one. We ended the call and that was it. Then like half an hour or so when my mum came home from my nan's, I went down and asked her. And I had a great nan called Nellie. And I never got to meet her. She passed away before I was born. I said, Mum, what did Nellie used to look like? And she said, well, she was quite like a small woman. She had long brunette hair. I said to her, I know this might sound weird, but what did she usually wear to like bed or like nightwear? And she said, oh, just like a long white nightdress, kind of like what your nan wears now. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she also followed on to say Nellie had a stroke. If you have a stroke, your whole face falls to one side. Exactly what my mum described is exactly what Kirsty and Rachel described to me. I didn't feel scared. I just felt like it was her. And ever since that happened, I have seen a lady in a white nightdress with long flowing brown hair. Like, I'll see her, whether it is Nellie or a different spirit or anything like that. I see her like, she'll like zoom past the kitchen and then she'll like go upstairs or from upstairs to downstairs, etc. And ever since then I have seen her a lot. So yeah, that was just my best ghost encounter. Well, kind of. I didn't really encounter her, but my friends did. But yeah, it's always a story I tell and people always get really freaked out and stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like more spooky videos like this one, I do have a lot more ghost stories to tell and ghost encounters that I have actually encountered as well. If you would like that, please like this video just so I know to keep doing them. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to become a ghoulie like me and become part of my ghoulish family. I'll see you on my next video. Mwah. Bye!